Alright guys, welcome to this month's MSEM GP Decklist stream. So, do you want to go over the balance changes for this month?
Oh, sure.
Nothing. All right.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the patch notes. April update. Due to MSEM, our GP champions, Klong Shaman and Android Bodega.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
I should probably show that off. Can I do that in...
I honestly thought it was an April Fool's at first.
Okay, yeah, we have Calling Shaman. Wait, where's... And we have Android Bodega. Yeah, there we go. Those are the two new promo arts.
Congrats to both of the GP winners.
So those two cards actually got buffed because they're a little more illegible now. So people won't know how it works.
No more reminder text for Spirited. People might think it's scripted.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They might not try to respond to the Dimensional Reshaper coming down. Or actually, yeah. Unfortunately, you can't hide stuff with Clawing Shaman. Like, everything's written out. There's no reminder text here.
Unlucky.
I mean, now you've got Reshaper in the champion frame, Bodega in the champion frame. That's 2/3 of the combo.
Yeah, so we just need another GP win with this deck, and then we can get all pieces of the combo.
I can see it happening. There's a player running that this time around, I believe.
Okay, well, I guess we should...
Infinity.
Wait, there isn't? Okay, well, spoiler.
Nope.
I haven't looked at the decks yet, so you're spoiling me. You're spoiling me already.
All right.
Let me see. No one's on Reshaper.
Okay.
Someone is on like a Reshaper like. No, someone is on Reshaper. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well.
Spoilers.
So, anyways, yeah, let's get started with the decks then.
Reshaper with some cool tech.
So let's see.
That.
So going from top, we have Band Crabs, Jund midrange. Who's Band Crabs?
So Wendy.
Wendy, do I know? Are they a newcomer or are they?
They're the person who made WoW in field test. If you know that set.
No, because I only played Mono Toho in field test.
Just search up the username WENDE. You know,
they've been around for a while. They haven't played many GPs.
They play on and off.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so they got Jund midrange. Is this
Hot Ang?
What does this thing do?
It's Hot Ang. This card snowballs out of its mind in the right matchup, and then sometimes it does literally nothing.
Okay, someone read out the card first.
Whenever a death touch, whenever a creature an opponent owns dies, exile the top 2 cards of that player's library face down. For as long as those cards remain exiled, you may look at them, you may cast them, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast them.
So it's...
It yoinks their stuff, then you play their stuff, and then you like block their stuff with their stuff, and then that causes like 2 instances of it,
Oh yeah,
and then
owns,
just snowballs
right.
if they don't kill it.
So what does this do against non-creature decks?
It doesn't.
Absolutely nothing.
It doesn't.
Actually, quick rules question here. If you have an effect that creates tokens under the opponent's control, do they own those tokens?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure yes.
Okay.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about tokens rules.
But I don't think you're running like the hunt card, whatever it's called. The one mana your opponent just gets 3 1/1s.
We have Alibi experience, although this is the wrong colors for it.
Jund, yeah.
Do we have an Alibi experience like card in these colors?
Alton Surveyor.
Oh yeah, Alton Surveyor. Is it in the deck?
Sideboard.
It's in the sideboard.
Huh, that's actually a really cool synergy.
And you run sketches to tutor it, so.
Oh yeah, this is wildlife sketches. I remember seeing this deck before. Somewhere, although it hasn't run this new card. I
mean, this deck is fine.
Yeah, it
just has a bunch of solid creatures. It's kind of like the mono black decks we used to run. It's just solid creatures the whole way through.
Oh, it's extremely solid deck, and it gets to play Nyomo Wong and Letitia Wormwood. Like being able to, like this black ring Sketches, Nyomo Long, Wormwood kind of deck has always been pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing surprising here, right?
I mean,
Gormound's sideboard
Hot
is a
End
little
is
bit.
surprising, just on its own.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been like floated around. Like this isn't new tech like we saw it a few months ago, but I assume you'll just forgot about it.
Oh, I found a deck building mistake. They have 3 copies of Retire instead of splitting between Retire and Mephisto's Gate.
Oh,
Oh, well, maybe they like the art for Retire better, so it's still like a win in their minds.
What about Trauma Spike, Ricky? Did you consider Trauma Spike?
I did
talk about
consider it,
Trauma
and I
Spike.
did not, and decided to cut it from my sideboard because I don't believe in that card.
I'm so scared of Trauma Spike.
Oh yeah, your deck just dies to Trauma Spike, Nix.
I died of Trauma Spike.
My deck also dies to Trauma Spike. Well, it doesn't like 100% dies, but he loses. It's like
Okay, well, let's get our ratings down. So this is what Jund, Sketches.
Are we doing rankings?
Yeah, someone else. Or yeah, we can. I guess. Do you think
Nick,
we're
you're-
skilled enough to do rankings?
Nix,
Our
I think
rankings?
Yeah.
Nix has
Power-
like a 20% GP win rate. You can do rankings.
Actually, yeah,
It's
Nick.
lower than 20% nowadays, I think. I've been trolling the last
No.
few.
Well, I mean, you said you were going to spike this GP, so
Oh,
Actually,
yes, I did say that.
I think Nyx is tied at third place for most GP wins in the history of MSEM.
it's Nix, then you, then Dodger is number 1.
Well, not Dodger. I think it's like some guy that doesn't play anymore. That's
Dodger
at number 1.
is like really high because he just won a bunch of old GPs.
I don't think he's
High
actually at
five.
6 yet. But yeah. So if you
He
win
is
this, next, if you win this GP, you'll be tying with me for second most GP wins in the history of MSEM. Yeah.
Well, I'm walking into this knowing that I have some 100% matchups and some 0% matchups.
Well, let's move on because your deck is
Nix,
next.
Speaking
So.
of your deck's next, yeah.
All
why don't
right.
you talk about it?
Okay, Ricky, you've seen this deck in action, and I babbled to Aeon Gunner about it. Like,
Yeah.
Is
extensively.
this... Wait, what deck is this?
Talking about this in like the AQ channel. A new channel.
The entirety of my own private gen channel is filled with just me babbling about this deck while also posting random cards from my set.
I
But
don't
like,
think I've
You're
seen this
talking
deck.
to Toasty about the deck, and then you just post a card, and then people give feedback on it, and then you go back.
babble more about the deck.
Okay, so what's the plan here? Because I haven't seen this deck
Let's see if
before.
you can figure out the plan. Let's see if you can figure out
Okay,
the plan.
so I see Phasma Pillar. I see a Phyrexian card that I can't read.
Oh, and look at the top card in the mana base, Ricky.
Mana Ascetic.
No, in the lands.
They're like the town.
Look at the bottom card of the creatures.
The Contra Bounty.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Do you know what-
that's a card.
Have you figured out the deck?
So I guess you're doing like Contra combo stuff. Let's see. What is it? Let me read what the Phyrexian thing actually does. When it enters,
Okay.
search your library for a land card, put it on the battlefield, upkeep, a corruption counter on land with... I don't see what this thing's doing.
I believe this is just Nyx's mana value 5 or greater tutor target to
Ardian
tutor
is
down.
actually pretty necessary. There are a couple lines where you get Contra out, but you don't have an infinite outlet. But the thing is, most of the time, Contra... Oh, let me explain the deck first. Contra, the deck combo is Contra Derelict Town to get infinite mana.
Okay, yeah, I know that.
Okay,
How do you...
the Contra ETB, well, cost actually, Duplicator, is it exiles a creature you control. And the creature you exile actually comes back with Contra dies. So the thing is, you get infinite mana, you play Contra. There are a lot of lines where you actually want to sacrifice Contra using Capital Towpath.
I see.
Or to get Ardian, which gets you the Hidden Garden entrance, which you chuck into your graveyard. And there are a bunch of ways to get Hidden Garden entrance into your graveyard. And using Hidden Garden entrance in your graveyard, you Sounds of Silence your opponent for 1 million.
That's so funny.
That I see.
So there are lines. Usually, your opening lines usually want to hit Onron or Phasmo Pillar or Argy if you already have one of those your Contra combo pieces in hand. And then on your turn 3 or 4, you play Contra the Bounty, go off with Derelict Town, and
And
then you win.
Radical is nuts because you play this turn 2, you tutor the Cantra, and then on turn 3 you just get to play the Cantra.
Right.
Yes, you do. That's without a Mana Aesthetic or Dovone or a Thriving Budling. If
This
you
is
have one of those,
card,
you
get
could
Cantra
Phasmo
on
Pillar
turn
on
3.
2.
Phasmo Pillar.
Phasmo Pillar on 2 if you have Mana Acceleration on 1, and then you just
Yeah.
play Contra on 3. There
Phasmo
are a
Pillar is
lot of win
also
lines for 3.
Cantra on turn 4. So yeah, from what I was seeing this deck, it looked very, very good.
I played this one time in League, and there is one other player running this deck. And I did not talk to them once about it.
Lie is on a very different version. They actually like decklisted with it, and then they got then Zero got nerfed partially because of that.
Isn't that a different version with the Zero? Like that
It's a different version.
Yeah, that was way more in this.
Nyx and Lie are running like different decks that are doing similar things and running a lot of the same cards.
Right.
And it's really interesting to see how those decks play out differently, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, so 5 chili peppers because man, this is interesting.
Yeah.
What do you even call this deck?
You made
Red Green Contra?
It's not RG Stomp. It's not Red Green Stompy at all. It's just I guess.
Yeah, RG Contra.
It's a Project X deck, 5 chili peppers.
Yeah, probably Contra. Yeah, RG Contra.
So
because it's completely different colors from the usual Contra deck, which used to be Esper or
no,
sometime
it's Sultai. The Contra town decks were Sultai.
Okay.
I think it was like Sultai splashing 5 color because you can.
Because I asked Skagra about it, the person who like used to run all the Contra decks, and their latest version was Esper.
Toasty said that that Contra town was banned.
What?
Was it banned? I should probably. Well, actually,
no. Contra Town was Derelict Town was banned in Perfect Hand and
no banned, not banned. The color combination.
Oh, banned.
Okay.
I heard banned.
I'm like, I got banned already. I haven't even played the GP yet. I mean, it's happened before, but
okay. Next,
you log thread.
Give it the ranking. What would you give your own
I don't
deck?
think I'm comfortable giving a ranking for this.
I think I'd give it an 8.
Really? That seems extremely high.
What is like the range here? Because my understanding.
If you don't know what to give it, just give it a 7.
I'll give it a 7.5 because it's good. I don't know.
This deck is.
My understanding is that 7 is the middle.
So you okay?
Am I being? Is that too high? Should I be saying 6 is the middle and then give it a 7?
I guess it's fine. I guess 7.5 is fine if you
win turn 4.
If you think it's above average. Okay, so next, what do you do if Arman's Radical gets piss bolted? I do think it's
above average.
Sorry, what?
What do you do if Arman's Radical gets piss bolted?
I just play Contra on a later turn, like a normal human being, and then get Derelict Town and go infinite. I mean, go get infinite mana. Like, if they're playing Pithwilt on my turn 2 play, that means, like, I kind of have an extra turn, because they use their turn 2 play to do something.
Yeah, fair.
The thing is, if I resolve Contra, the game is probably over.
What's up with the insane amount of different arts?
I was having too much fun.
It's funny, I guess.
It looks so perfect on the Decklist page.
Last minute discovery. Capital Towpath is insane. Once you have Contra down.
Yeah, you were using the blue-green member of the cycle, and
I didn't
realize it was a cycle.
I originally had the blue-green version of the deck, not realizing it was a cycle. When my deck is red-green. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Let me find the message.
This is also an Alvarez deck because there's 30 lands. And unironically, I was thinking about going up in lands.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Do you have a way to make use of all the extra lands?
Well, the thing is, like, 6 of these aren't actually land cards. Aria Panorama and Derelict Town are both combo pieces.
Also, what's
Right.
Fluff Fluff Whisper? Is it just infinite
Okay,
mana
so
outlet?
if my opponent actually has a hexproof, there are a number of sideboard cards that have hexproof. Fluff Puff goes around hexproof, while my other kill outlets from the sideboard don't. Like Silazar doesn't go through hexproof, and nor does what's the other one? Yeah, Sounds of Silence doesn't either.
Wait, why are you running Salazar? How's it? When is it ever better than Sounds of Silence?
Salazar is a deck I include main deck. If I'm running Salazar main deck, I no longer need to rely on I can't be stopped by any sort of grave hate.
Fair.
Because
Grave
then
hate can stop me
instead of
currently.
having to
Yeah.
do the HG line, you just can like tutor it out if you need it from like
Yes.
a Radical or something or Phasma Pillar.
Okay, well that's enough talking about this deck. So let's move on to Requiem.
It's big red. It's the exact same list. I don't. People being on this list still amazes me. Like,
It's good.
it's good. I was considering playing it because again, this is my list.
Toast is asking
So-
how. Well, okay, so Toast is asking in the comment or in the chat how you fetch Fluff Puff.
Oh, hit a garden entrance.
That's
I hit a
non-creature.
garden entrance. Oh, what?
It says
That's
non-creature.
non-creature, yeah.
Have you been making illegal plays, Nix?
I haven't cast Fluff Puff once.
Okay, good.
Nick,
You have
did you not
disqualified you.
realize that was non-creature?
I didn't realize it was non-creature. My bad.
Oh my god.
Look,
Nope.
I built this deck yesterday or something.
Nix, don't worry. If your opponent's
No,
playing
you were working
Hexproof,
on this
you can still board this thing in. Like you can put it in your main deck.
Yeah, I could put one
as a
one
one-off.
main deck.
I mean, the deck has a decent amount of tutoring, right?
Yeah, but it
Not
can't
for one
tutor-
drops.
Yeah, no, it can tutor 5+ drops.
Just get infinite mana, draw your entire deck, and then play this thing out. Draw your entire deck with Sounds of Silence, right?
Yeah, Fluff Puff should have been probably something like
Yeah, but then
Monument
you
of Queens.
lose all of the life from Sounds of Silence.
Oh well.
All right,
Okay.
let's go on to
Hopefully I don't
Requiem.
get punished. Yeah.
All right, it's big red.
Yep. Do we have anything to
It's
say?
good.
No.
No,
Okay, cool.
we've covered this deck to death.
Three chili peppers.
I'll give it a 7. It's good. I don't think we really need to talk about it. Flashcat, literally the same thing.
Is it literally the same
Can I
or
just-
slightly different?
It's a
Slightly
slightly different.
They have
It's the
Daisy.
same list they ran last GP. Interesting that they run 2 Starlit Rays and 2 Imp Siege each. I think Imperial Siege is much better than Starlit Rays, but
They're definitely going hard on the land destruction plan.
honestly, I don't know if I've said this to you guys specifically, but the just presence of having these cards in your deck, especially in a 100-card deck, you might not draw them as often, but like the opponent is like forced to play scared, and so they'll likely fetch their basics more.
Really?
which-
I usually don't.
Okay, well, then okay. See, I'm going off of someone who has logic. So, I guess it doesn't apply to you.
Yeah, well, it depends on the deck I'm playing. Like the deck I'm playing this GP can't really afford to fetch basics over non-basics because it's 4 colors.
Fair.
Yeah.
But like even with stuff like 2-color or even sometimes 3-color decks, they make their mana base slightly worse, and then ever so often you come against the greedy mana base player like you, Ricky, or last GP that was Hersey on the 4-color deck with literally 0 basics, and then you blow them out with your Palms cards.
Yeah.
So
All right, I guess we already copied it down. All right, moving on. Tropical is on Wizards. I think I played against this in League before. And
let's see if they're running my tech. No. All right, but yeah, it's Wizards aggro. Dancer. It counts Wizards.
Dancer of the Great Current is Nutso.
Yeah, it's Marshall Maestro is also Wizard. Lord Rokai is a 1-mana 2/1 flying.
Yep.
Sarudu Flamebind. Do you think Sarudu Flamebinder belongs in this deck? I feel like there has to be a better option than this thing. Because
Four
Flamebinders?
Masahita, do you really need 4?
No.
I guess it's fine. Metal Crafter, obviously good card. I think there was another like Wizard Tribal card that I'm forgetting that could probably go over some of the Flamebinders and maybe one of the Masahitas. We got
Yeah.
Rogger's Frenzy Sinkhole. Kind of like a weird hybrid tempo deck. You've got Crossing the Fog as Ancestral Recall in quotes.
I think it's really reliant on hitting consistent crossing the fogs and assuming your opponent has no blockers or removal for your cards.
Well,
I think I prefer Wizard 101 to this deck.
Dancer makes it really easy to get through for damage because it can clear a guy or it can just attack with Slipstream. So like you can reliably get in for damage with Crossing the Fog, I think.
Yeah, I guess. It's fine. I don't think it's like the greatest deck, but it's fine.
It can definitely take games.
Yeah, it could take games for sure.
Yeah. So I guess it's interesting enough. I'll give it 4 chili peppers. You're giving it a 5? I guess that's fair.
Power level. What would you give it? I'm open to
5, I guess 6 maybe. I got wrecked by this deck in League because I had its slow start.
Fair enough. Yeah, I could.
And because my League deck had like no really bad
I'd
early
say
game.
5.5. I think this is a deck that has potential, but this build I don't like very much, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely things that could be improved, I feel like.
Maybe I'll get proven wrong, but Dancer, Martial Maestro, Lord Rokai, Metal Crafter, like that's a pretty solid aggro package.
Yeah.
So
all right.
We'll see.
Moving on. Gal is back.
It's
with Fire Weaver
this deck.
Do we need to explain this deck every time it appears? Especially if we don't have Gal around to explain it for us.
Please, it would take too long to explain.
Tiger of the Drums sees play? Okay, whatever.
Wait, what card?
Whatever.
Wait, what?
Tiger of the
Where?
Drums.
What?
Tiger of the Drums in the sideboard. I guess it's because it's a decent 5-drop to pod out.
Yeah, that's I guess a fine 5-drop.
Sure.
So this is a 100 card pod. If you don't know what that deck is,
watch one of our previous Decklist streams. Where Gal, one of the streams where Gal is...
one of the ones with Gao,
yeah,
because Gao can actually explain the deck.
But the TLDR is that this is a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. This guy's it's a Magic deck. You got stuff like
because everything searches everything and everything's free.
Yeah, and in this deck, everything searches everything, and some of the things are free. some of the things let you cast stuff for free. Yeah, you tutor for more tutors. Maybe I
use Danrad's Radical to fetch selective breeding. Use the selective breeding to fetch an unrivaled Fire Weaver or something, and then you use that to fetch another thing, and then you climb up into like a Kyoro, and then Kyoro can fetch another thing if you need.
Sure, this is a deck of all time.
Yeah,
I played against it. It's fine. I don't think it's insane or anything.
It is very.
I would give it a.
The fact that this deck exists amazes me.
Yeah, the fact that this deck exists amazes me because I thought large deck 8-sack was dead after all the good cards from it got nerfed. But I'm glad that Gal is still keeping it alive.
Good for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was Dreamsight? Are you talking about the Dreamsight deck?
Dreamsight Minister 8-sack. The deck that I won the GP with like 2 years ago. And all the cards from it have gotten nerfed.
I remember looking at that deck and just thinking, what the hell is this? I just couldn't understand what was going on there.
Well, also because most of the cards have been changed, so you probably couldn't have understood anyways, because
Yeah,
on
I
track
think the only
changes.
card I actually knew the nerf was Dreamsight, because,
Yeah.
The amount of draw 5s apparently pretty good.
who would have thought? Well,
Alright.
moving on, it's Foxes. It's literally the exact same list as last GP, I
Okay,
think.
so I'm actually not
Yeah.
going to I'm not going to downplay the deck too much because I actually lost. Crush actually got a game win over me last GP with this deck because
Crush almost beat me. Like, we were top decking, and if Crush had top decked a burn spell, I would have lost, and then I got lucky and top decked my lethal line
okay.
first. Like, I nearly lost in game 3 to it.
Really? Okay. Maybe I should give it a little more credit. It looks
It looks a lot worse than it is. It is actually pretty good.
How good did Crush perform anyways last GP? Let me. I
I
guess
think they went,
records
like,
don't exist
2-2.
after. Yeah, the records don't exist after GP ends.
I mean, you can take a look.
They
They won one, lost one. Yeah, they went 2-2. They beat you.
2.
They lost to me. They beat Cat. And then lost to Dodger.
So they beat me because due to me not being present because I couldn't because time I scheduled or something came up during the time I scheduled, so I just gave him the win.
I mean, it's
so yeah,
fine.
I mean,
It's got creatures and spells.
I think if Crush can like get some wins due to the opponent not being present, and then get another win through actually being up someone, then they can go to this GP2.
Maybe they'll go 3-1, get 2 opponents that are present.
Yeah. I mean, they could actually top cut, I feel like, with this deck if they get good, if they roll well in the Swiss.
Well, what kind of decks do you think this is good against?
I mean, it's an aggro deck. It's burn.
It's good against decks that can't deal with the board.
Early game pressure, yeah.
It's good against decks that burn is good against.
No. Are you talking about Neon Claw Burn? Because Neon Claw Burn actually, Neon Claw Burn can actually beat up on opposing creature decks because of how its burn lines up against opposing creatures.
But this deck does run like a pretty.
It does run 20 damage spells, I guess. Facade Charm doesn't really count. So I'd give him 16. That's still pretty hefty.
Yeah.
And that's just a bunch of foxes that can easily ping opponents.
Yeah. 4.5. Yeah, I guess that's about right. I'll give it 2 chili peppers because it's new, but it's not actually. I don't think it's attuned, or I don't think it's meant to be as powerful as possible. So, I'm not as interested in the deck. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's meant to be. Look, it's kind of like with Dravos, where you want the deck to do the thing, and you're gonna optimize it to do that thing.
Yeah.
And the thing in this case is Fox Tribal,
Except
like Dravos wants to play with Lizaveth, even if the deck isn't necessarily optimal with it, you can still build a deck around it and optimize that deck.
Yeah, the problem for me is that the thing that they're trying to optimize isn't even that interesting in the first place to me because it's just a aggro tribal deck that doesn't even have any super special things that. Well, I should just stop talking before I sound like I'm being too rude to them.
It does have a lot of pings. It works very well with Brazen Sacrilege.
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, Brazen Sacrilege is very interesting.
I find Excoriate interesting,
but I don't think it could top 8, but I don't think it's winning this.
Okay.
Yeah, fair. Watch us eat our words and somehow this deck randomly wins.
We get destroyed by foxes in a sec. This happened with blue-white control.
I mean, every opponent could just happen that every opponent ends up getting pretty slow starting hands and gets beat up by the creature aggro deck.
All right,
but moving on, Engineer, it's up to you.
My turn. This is, if you can't tell, this is Unearth.
Oh, it's this deck.
If you couldn't tell by the 4 copies of Unearth and 3 copies of Stir the Pot. Now, Unearth kind of got gutted last month, or at least my build of Unearth. In that
there were no changes though.
Oh, sorry, the month before last month.
Yeah.
I'm referring to like the changes from the start of last month. I would have considered those this month's changes. As in Descend got nerfed, and Spirit of the Sands got nerfed, and I think there was another nerf. No, it was just Descend and Spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the deck is still playable, but Descend's nerf is like it is insane.
Let me just
How
pull up
big
the
that
card.
nerf is.
So it used to be 1
Descend
mana.
upon the
Wait,
two.
no, that's the wrong one. It used to be
4 and a black and return up to 3. Now it's 5 and a black and returns up to 2.
yeah. So rip
So,
that card.
You're kind of hoping BLR gets in, right? Because Cecil
basically,
Stalker.
this card, Descend, it was like the best card in the deck. Now you just don't play it because it's like, to be playing here, in the difference of having to play only 1 looting than 2 mana on turn 3 versus being forced to play 2 lootings into it on turn 3 is actually, like, it is a lot bigger than you think.
Yeah.
And that causes the card to be way too inconsistent, in my opinion, because you're no longer able to turn 3 as much. And also only returning up to 2 means you can't get back 2 Anthus Accomplice and a 3-drop. So, let me actually get into what the deck is. This deck is Phoenix, Weird, Treacherous Ward. It's Treacherous Ward in Turbo. I think that's the easiest way to put this deck.
Yep.
Is you are literally just turboing out triggers from this one card, digging your deck to find it, and repeatedly reanimating it with Unearth, Relive, Stir the Pot, that kind of stuff. Unearth, and then reliving back your Unearth spells.
Yep.
And then you also have Deadwood as your kind of backup plan. You just unearth the Deadwood, get 6 power across 3 bodies. Breaker of Secrets and Ceaseless Stalker proc the Warden. Breaker of Secrets also just another thing you get to do from Graveyard. Also proc Stalker as well. Anthus' Accomplice. You run the Whisperwood, so this you get to do the Small Lux thing where you draw 2 cards every turn cycle if things go right. And it's a lot worse than the way old Small Lux one, because that one you kind of just did it. If they cast 2 spells, now they need to lose life, but they're gonna be losing life.
Yep.
A lot of the time, so
So
it's mostly fine. And other than that, you kind of have the Phoenix core of the lootings, and then Oracle's Vision. Yeah, and then you run 17 lands for Whisperwoods, or 13 lands plus 13 real lands plus 4 Whisperwoods.
I also like how the life loss mode of Stir Pot actually matters a lot in this deck, because like
And the fatigue downside, you legitimately just don't care about.
Yeah, because like you actually care about hitting the Treacherous Warden breakpoints.
Yep.
Toast.
It is. It kills people. Like, you relive this, you hit them for another 3, you reanimate a Warden, you dump another thing. Like, it just kills them.
Toast mentions that Sedna is an option in the deck.
Sedna. Okay, so Toasty is the reason this deck exists. Because I didn't know this card existed, then Toasty made an ROS Brews around Sedna and put Treacherous Warden and Stalker in as like a package to just turbo kill the opponent, because, and Toasty's deck is very different from, like, it has the same idea, but the way it achieves it is quite different. And Sedna is definitely an option, and the reason I chose to not run it is, I don't have deck space. I'm running 3 Deadwoods.
Yep.
I would prefer to run 4 Deadwood, 4 Breaker, 4 Stir the Pot, 4 Glimpse Beyond, more lands likely, but you just, like, the deck is very tight. It is a very tight deck.
All right. I'll give it 5 chili peppers because it's a very interesting deck. What are you calling it, by the way?
It's just Unearth.
Okay, it's like
it's like a, I don't know, you can call it whatever.
It's like Rix's
Treacherous
Unearth?
Ward and Turbo, I don't know.
Okay, sure. So what?
It's my deck. It's 5 chili peppers.
I think it's like it's 7. It's like ranking 7, right? At least.
Yeah.
Because it seems very powerful if your opponent doesn't have Grave Hate.
Also, beneath the Zadida in the sideboard to protect against readouts, which is notable.
How do you beat Enopraxia's Endeavor?
The same thing as. Well, it really depends on what's in your graveyard. Because the secret is if they fire it off too early, you just keep turning and recover if their deck isn't fast enough. If they fire it off too late, it's too late for them and they just die. So they really have to time it right. And so you kind of just hope that they mistime it, and oftentimes you can get out of it.
Are you like not going
If
to
they have two, you're just legitimately screwed.
Are you not going to talk about the Spell Pierce that's in your sideboard?
Yeah, Spell Pierce also exists.
Yeah, I was thinking you were going to at least
Yeah,
mention that.
Yeah, Spell Pierce can counter Mass Grave Hate, like Anapraxia's.
Yeah.
I'm very smart. That's why I put it in there. Definitely.
Okay, I'll give it 7. All right, so let's move on to Epid.
Casino Scam.
Oh,
it's good.
It's Casino Scam again. Anything interesting here? They have a Harp Zadina.
With Cosmic Coalescing?
Hasn't someone already done this before? Or is this new?
Yeah, but I don't think Epid was running it. I might be wrong.
It's a pretty generic casino scam list.
What? Cosmic Coalescing, excuse me?
Same thing last GP. It's the same list as last GP. I think exact same list, yeah.
I don't remember because I hardly remember any of my Decklist streams.
It's fine. The deck's fine.
I have last GP open.
Yeah. So same deck. For those of you new here, the combo here is that you play Buy Time, which makes you unable to die, and then you play All or Nothing and draw your entire deck, and you don't die.
And win with Sacred Songs.
And yeah, Sacred Songs, and then you win. And then to get to that, you just play a control game, I guess. You also have Kaioro because that card's just good.
As a combo deck, this is like one of the things I would really not want to face.
I don't think I've won a single game against this deck, and every time I play against it, I dread it. Because usually my decks have good matchups into control and bad matchups into combo.
Just
so then they just like every single time I get comboed on turn 4. I swear.
You have Spell Pierce in your deck. Don't worry about it. You can just counter their thing.
It's a 3-up in the sideboard.
Just hard login for it, and then just dig for it with your lootings on turn 1.
Oh boy.
But also, like, the deck can't... I guess it's better than losing, I don't know. But I do not want to face this deck, please.
Yeah, fair. I don't think I want to face it either. I don't think there's many decks I want to face.
Gripple's super friends, but I try to splash white first.
Is it already my turn? Okay, let me actually just let me just put down Epid's deck for now. So Grixis Casino Scam. Are we going to give it like minus chili peppers for unoriginality? I guess I'll give it 3 chili peppers because the Cosmic Coalescing thing is at least still interesting. And you're giving it 7, not 7.5. I thought you were super scared of this deck.
Well, I'm personally scared of it because counterspells ruin my day. But I don't know.
All right.
I think this deck can be beaten just through normal aggro.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
What's a normal aggro deck?
The foxes, like foxes against the house, like Casino Scam. I don't know if I would give it to Casino Scam.
Well, if they can buy time on turn 4 against foxes.
Foxy.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
All right, so I guess
maybe the foxes are cheating. That's how they beat the house.
Yeah, I mean that cheating foxes are a pretty common thing in like folklore.
They're counting cards. Can't believe this.
All right, so let's move on to the next deck. Oh yeah, that's my deck.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, going to this GP, I wanted to play a deck that has lots of tutoring because I really want to show off the new features that Conquerors has or it will have soon.
Nice. I saw that you posted that.
Did Nix also see that? Is Nix in that server?
Nix is in Voyager. Yeah.
Okay. I don't pay attention to Voyager, unfortunately.
Okay.
Ricky posted a... Oh, Yeah. It was a very cool thing.
Do you want
Was
to
it
say
in
what
guess
it
your
is?
zone?
You also don't pay attention to the Cockatrice Discord. I saw it in 2 places.
I also don't pay attention to Toasty messaging me that Cosmic Contraption only gets non-creature.
Yeah.
Wait, that's weird.
Yeah, Toasty literally said that. This is my alternative if my opponent has hexproof Toasty, but you can't tutor it. It's only non-creature.
Look, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just draw it main deck.
You literally got told.
I'll get a
You have no
mono black
excuse now.
creature.
You have no excuse.
Look, I
now.
brewed this while literally making like not 300, like at least 40 cards for my set.
Wait, so next, do you
I
know
love
what?
that you also just added a channel for it under your sets too.
Wait, so next, do you know what I'm referring to?
For what?
For the cockroach thing.
Not really.
So Ricky, actually Ricky, you made it. You talk about
Why
it.
do I have to talk about it? You saw it, and you're better commentating than I am.
Well, you're the one who made it, so I feel like you should be the one. But sure. So, Ricky added the ability to like filter by search terms when you're tutoring.
Uh-huh.
So like, there's a search bar that pops up, and you can put in like the search terms. Like, Ricky puts in type legend T:\legendary for Sworn cohort.
Yeah.
T:\equipment or T:\aura for Seto-san, I assume. T:; I can't read that. Oh, T:; something MV equals 2. Forest searches for forest. Search for legacy war mask. Searches for type: planeswalker, but typos and writes planes first. I'm pointing that out there, but yeah, you can. It's super cool. It's going to be very useful once this gets merged. Has it been merged?
It's going to take. Well, currently the PR is kind of stuck because the change I had to make so that you can type so that you can select search bar and type words into it causes some other things to break.
Ooh.
Oh,
So yeah,
Unlucky.
Okay, soon.
where's the PR? Oh, I see it. It says review required.
Yeah, like someone left a comment on there about how my change broke something.
Oh, edit.
Yeah. Anyways, let's actually talk about my deck. So yeah, I just took Scribble Super Friends deck and doing Sworn Cohort because I've been like, I've been on a huge Sworn Cohort. What do you call it? Like Sworn Cohort binge recently.
It's really funny because I remember like doing a review of Epsil, which is Nyx's other set that isn't AQ, and I saw this card that is Sworn Cohort, but you doesn't have keyword. Or wait, did it have Death Touch or Lifelink? I can't remember. But it was Black Sworn Cohort, and you had to pay 3 life, and it went on top of your library. And I put it on the like very good cards category. And then I remembered, and then like I think it was right after like Nyx played against you in League or something, and Sworn Cohort was there.
Yeah. So I'm of the opinion that Sworn Cohort is actually nutso, and I'm trying to prove it.
No, yeah, I don't. Yep, I think this card is nuts as well. Like
the problem is that all the Sworn Cohort decks I've been building recently are kind of bad because they're like this. They have lots of value potential, but they're just kind of slow and roll over to basically any deck that's actively doing stuff.
Oh my god, Biohazard is disgusting.
So yeah, so then I decided that I might as well like join the war on the side of rot. So yeah,
you're evil. You're evil. How could you betray humanity like this, Ricky?
This is actually not that great of a rot GP though. It's gonna hit the aggro decks, but there aren't any like enchantment spam or not too much reshaper.
How come the one time I decided
reshaper?
How come the one time I decide to become the villain, it ends up not working out for me?
You're not meant to be the villain.
This is more of a gripe with Scribble's deck that we brought up before. Is Xerath probably shouldn't be a 2 of?
No, Xerath actually So the thing is, you can very easily get a lot of instant and sorceries into your yard with this deck, because you got your like whole suite of instants and sorceries early game to help you do stuff, and then Zerat ends up costing like 2 or 3 in the late game, and that actually ends up being really
Interesting.
powerful. So I think I'm actually like I trust Scribble a lot more on Zerat now,
Interesting.
and also
It seems fine. Yeah, this deck seems fine.
Also, Zerat's the deck's only way of answering big stuff, because everything else, every other removal is mana value gated.
Or damage gated with Sanigan.
Zag,
I would give this a 6.5 though on power.
I think this deck tutoring Biohazard again seems disgusting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think like
It's kind of relying on like 5 mana planeswalkers to just stabilize the board. 4 or 5 mana planeswalkers.
I also think you got, like you said, you got unlucky, and this is a bad meta for
Yeah.
Rock deck.
I don't think we even have a meta. It's just whatever people are playing at the moment.
That's true.
I just rolled badly into the RNG fest. That is
Oh my
what
god,
people
what
pick.
is this?
But yeah, I'll give it 5 chili peppers on my 4-color super friends.
I'll give this 5 chili. I'll give this 4 chili peppers. It's similar to Scribble's deck from before, but Sworn Cohort's cool, and the Biohazard interaction's cool.
Yeah. Sworn Cohort does give you
It's
better
Mish
early
Scuttle.
game, I guess. Okay, anyways, yeah, let's move on.
This deck, I have a this deck is actually funny because this is actually the deck that got me to start playing Big Red very indirectly. Because I built a Mardu version of this deck, then realized, wait, all the good cards in this deck are red, so I just played mono red, and then I realized, wait, I can play Fire Weaver, and then made a big red deck.
So I think this deck is the same as before. I heard it has run
Yes,
this.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Do we need to talk about it then?
I mean, it's been quite a few months. We probably should.
Okay, sure.
It's the Valerie Neon Clonite value pile. It runs Cairo. Sacrifice to Satar, you kill it with your own removal spell. Flip it. If sometimes you can block with it and such. And then you flip it into quite a powerful planeswalker. It spits out good bodies. It lantern controls them. It reanimates stuff.
True, it does lantern control though.
Oh, I don't like that.
It's like really weak lantern control though.
I mean,
It
lantern
has
control is
lantern of
lantern
insight
control.
text, and then also has a plus ability that mills.
Yeah, you have both
So-
sides of the lantern control in one card.
Mm.
There are definitely some hoops that you need to get through to use the sacrifice, but it's very good if you actually do.
Yeah,
get a
it's
flip.
good. I think this is top 4 before. We know it's good.
I got beaten up by this deck back when I was in the top cut,
So have
I think.
TFA is. I'm surprised at only 2 copies of TFA.
I guess
I don't know.
they need to find room for stuff. They already have a bunch of
Yeah.
other cards.
TFA is like very good with Ancient and Valerie though I guess you've got more stuff like that.
Also, I'm going to mention
Rush of Stillness in the Air is cool, I guess.
I'm going to mention the Abscond in the sideboard because I got absolutely blown out by that card when I was
Same with me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This
Promise
card,
Spike in their
more
sideboard.
people should be playing this, in my opinion. Like,
I'm gonna get a trauma spiked on turn 3, and I'm gonna have no win condition in my entire deck.
Your win condition is you have Alvarez.
Yeah, let me just play
I'm
Alvarez.
sure that Alvarez is gonna survive against Herzies.
Yeah, I still don't trust Trauma Spike though. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So Scribble ran Trauma Spike in their sideboard, but I don't trust Trauma Spike, so I cut the Trauma Spikes and put in Forbidden Treasure instead.
Why? Like, out of curiosity, why?
Fair enough. No,
Like,
Forbidden Treasure has its better matchups.
I find Trauma Spike to because it doesn't like affect the board.
Yeah,
Fair.
it provides no
Maybe.
tempo at all.
And I find that against the matchups where against the non-creature matchups where Trauma Spike matters, Forbidden Treasure sort of does a similar thing, except like it's actually or it actually does stuff to contribute to the game state.
I don't like Trauma Spike as a card.
I think I equally dislike Trauma Spike and Forbidden Treasures because, against the waves. You don't hit my against the waves. You can't touch that. It got nerfed. It's sacred now, right?
Yeah.
Also, Hungering Cult.
It's anti-aggro. It's actually a very underplayed but very good card.
Yeah,
It also
it is good. That's why I
it also
mentioned
instantly
yeah.
sacrifices Satara, which is a flavor win for one.
That's another reason I assume you play it. And also Kyoro survives it, which is very good for you.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 chili peppers because it's like I've seen the deck before, but it does play interestingly enough.
I'll give it 2. Again, we saw it before, but it's like it's not it's interesting enough to not get a 1.
This is my round 1 match, and I see the 3x Trauma Spike, and I'm like, ah, shit.
Just win game 1, and then Mai's one of the other 2 games.
I think I very favored game 1. It's just the game 2 and game 3, because Bunyip and Trauma Spike both destroy me.
Yeah.
I don't know, just get lucky and have Prison not draw them.
Sure.
Yeah, 7, right? 7's probably the right number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
Absolutely.
7.
All right, so moving on, Parabellum is playing Toka.
Who would have thought?
Is there like anything new
It's a pretty
here?
classic Toka list.
Yeah.
Process turn.
Is Flukes new?
No, I think I mean it got promoted, so I'm
Wait,
assuming
what card?
it got run before. But I mean, it is an
Yeah.
interesting card to be playing here.
Wait, what card? Oh, Flukes?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was in the deck before.
Process Termination might be new, though.
I'm a believer in process termination. But I was also playing it in Herald, so
Seems fine. It's a 2-mana kill pretty much anything. Exile even?
I think this was one of the best sideboard cards that was underplayed in the Herald of Oblivion decks. Now that Herald's nerfed, we're not seeing that anymore, but I still think it is a pretty good sideboard card.
It is, but like, do you think this deck has better options? I mean, I can't really tell because it's kind of generic, right?
It's just Toka combo.
Yeah. I mean, Toka combo's good. You get Toka, you win. And you also get to play an Aristocracy aggro strategy at the same time.
Yeah.
I've won and lost to this deck. This deck can just kill you very early, but it can also just like not.
Toka's one of my favorite cards all time, so I'm gonna give it pretty high. I actually do think it's a 7.
I love this deck so much.
Yeah.
Actually, realistically, it's probably not.
What?
I'll give this a 5.
I'll give it a 7.
Because Toka's cool.
I'll give it like
I really
3 chili
enjoy how this
peppers.
deck plays.
I've already seen it before. Yeah. All right, moving on. Toasty is playing Master Zoo.
It's the Hectalian's version of Zoo.
Oh yeah, that card. So how likely is it for that card to whiff? Because I've seen it happen.
Not.
It's happened, but it's not that likely.
Is Hectalion both soldiers and knights, or just soldiers?
The only card there are
Soldiers only.
2 non-soldiers in your deck, them being Lily Reed and Extraction Mark.
And you hope that you don't hit your lands either.
Yeah, I mean it's 6 cards, and you run what? 12. 32 minus 12 is 20.
I mean, you have a better than 1 in 3 chance for
You have
each card.
20 hits.
Yeah.
You have 20 hits in your deck, and you're looking at 6. Like, that's solid.
Yeah.
So, for those of you new here, basically you play out one of your guys. You play out Master Zoo, and you get to get your ETB triggers when you attack, and then you just, I guess, out aggro them that way, something like that.
I think one of the scariest cards in this deck is just Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
Because you could play your Hectalian Vanguard, Jack comes in, and then everything has haste. So you swing with your Vanguard again, and it just snowballs from there.
Right. Yeah.
Jack is Jack.
I also appreciate how like Sign of Silence is seeing way more play these days. Like people actually realize that this card's really good.
Oh my god, Toasty drew 3 of these and absolutely blew me out last GP. 2 of our 3 games. He drew 3 Scion of Silences.
I kind of want this to be a Banishing Initiate deck.
I think Scion might just be better than Banishing Initiate. Well, I mean, I guess it's debatable.
Yeah, Banishing Initiate kills the body as well, which matters for some like 2 mana value creatures. But yeah.
What's Banishing it? Okay, let me take a look.
Banishing Initiate is a thing that.
Yeah, I know.
2 mana, 3/1.
I remember when this was a Pod Watcher card.
The good old days. And then it got nerfed free GP because someone decided to win 15 times in a row in League. All bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 chili peppers. Oh, so Toast said that they did consider banishing in the deck, but decided that they didn't need it. Which I guess, yeah, I guess it makes sense because your guys are probably outsiding their guys, so you'd rather just play Silent Silence and hit more stuff.
This deck gets so much like board advantage.
Yeah.
Like.
So what's the deck called again?
Soldier Zoo is what I call it.
Soldier Zoo.
Soldiers.
I mean, that's a very cool deck name, though. So I like that.
The reason I'm giving this 1 chili pepper is Shifang Hu.
Hey Shifang Hu.
In the board?
Like
this
playing against it.
Also rise perfectly fine and cool. Shifang Hu, the most evil card in existence. Prove me wrong.
No, you're right. Well, not actually. I think there are more evil cards, but Shifang Hu's like it comes down.
Evil.
A lot of decks just can't play the game anymore.
It time walks sometimes, then it builds a massive board sometimes as well with the demigod mode.
Yeah.
I actually haven't ever seen someone use the god mode. Have you guys?
I have. I've used it.
Oh. Yeah.
Back when I was playing Egg Ramp, like Egg Ramp was very realistically god moding the Shifang Hu.
Fair. Yeah.
And using it as a win card.
Use it in late game mono white. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big guy.
I also like this 4 cheap blocks just to like make absolutely sure that this deck has counter spells. Wait, no, it's not a counter spell anymore. Never mind. Or is it? Is it a counter spell anymore? What's cheap box new effect?
You may change any targets of target spell that targets you or a permanent you control if you don't counter it.
So okay, so it is a counter spell, but it's not. But it has to counter something that targets you. Okay, never mind.
It also has Master Su in the flavor text, so flavor win.
Okay,
true.
I agree. Yeah. Toast says that they've god moded Shifang Hu a few times too. I mean, yeah.
Look at the stream chat.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We rate. Did you rate this deck? It's a 7, right?
Yeah, easily.
All right.
Maybe higher? I don't know.
It's a 7. If you don't know, just give it 7.
Okay.
And Cyber is playing Megalokraken again. Oh, just got Megalokraken. Yeah. Is that different from before?
Okay, so it's okay. Upon observation, it's running the Amaret package.
Oh yeah, the Amaret. Yeah, Fierce Blow. Is that good?
It's extra value. It's fine.
Furious Blow is quite. It's quite a good card, and then you get to search one of the Amarets. It's like okay. I'm not sure if it's. I got absolutely like crushed by Furious Blow when I played against Zangy, but that was also like a nightmare matchup in many other ways. So
I appreciate the I appreciate the 4 Pact of the Moons main because someone has finally like actually put Pact of the Moon in a deck where it can be Nutso, because I'm pretty sure Pact of the Moon is just Nutso on itself. Like it's just a Nutso card. Just looking at the rate.
Wait, this card. Oh, I can't. Wait, why are people not playing this?
I
What
know,
the
right?
hell?
I think it's because there's just you just can't find a deck that it fits in.
I think this is a deck it fits in. So
Yeah, someone finally found a deck that this fits in.
I think this does work well in the Valerie midrange shells. Maybe we see it in like more Valerie and CN stuff. Maybe I bring back the Mardu deck. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't like that only the first mode here targets, but that's just me.
Well,
Yes.
it's because you're not going
The
to.
second mode targeted, it would be nuts with
Well,
Valerie.
I mean, it's kind of hard to, or you usually don't fizzle a player target, so.
Like if you really want the Valerie thing, you can just like target them even if it does nothing.
I guess, yeah.
Then yeah, you run TFA, you run good cards, you run Embodied Soul as another threat, which, yeah, Embodied Soul is... It's a card. Very much a card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Toast is also talking about how Nutso Pact of the Moon is in chat right now. But yeah, Pact is Nutso just by looking at the rate. And
Yep.
I can't say anything more
Let me
than that.
actually like
Or chili
move
peppers.
chat to the side so I can respond, maybe. Oh no, that just breaks the Lackey bot website, so I guess not.
Oh.
Like Lackey, the formatting just like spasms. It's insane.
I'll give it 4 chili. Yeah, 4 chili peppers. I mean, they finally found use
Pact
for
of the Moon is
Yeah,
cool.
Pact of the Moon. And the rest of the deck, it's like
what are we rating Soldier Suit? I think we can. Is this a 7 or a 7?
We gave it a 7. Someone please
7, yeah.
And I think Cyber's deck is also worth a 7, right?
We're giving a lot of 7s today.
Well, that's because most decks are a 7, or most decks that get played are a 7, right?
Sure.
Or do we need to say bracket 4 now? Or do we need to say bracket 3 these days instead of 7?
No, we're not EDH.
Well, we have a side format that's EDH, but I don't participate in it, so.
Played one game of it.
Played one game.
And I got combo killed on turn 4 or something.
Ah, yes, the EDH.
Or sorry, like turn 5.
The classic EDH experience.
Reshaper combo killed me on turn 5.
I turned 1 Valdez someone in EDH, and then I realized how stupid that was.
Toast says that they feel like most decks should be a 5. Well, unfortunately, you're not in the stream right now, so we get to decide on the rating system. If you join the stream, then maybe you get to influence us, but chat, the people in chat are second-rate citizens in this setup, so because you're going to be at least some seconds behind.
All MSEMers are created equal, but live streamers are created more equal than others.
Yeah.
All right. Lyzor's deck.
Oh wait, I just saw
your deck.
I just saw it
They
dropped.
each came up independently, but slightly different.
No, they fought me one time in League. I comboed off on them on turn 3 one game, and then turn 4 the next game.
And then
and then they hard tilted to try to build it themselves.
Well, it looks very different.
Well, they were playing a similar deck before with Zira, but Zira's gone, so
I think there's a lot of interesting choices here.
They're playing. Okay, so they're
Xenoflora Expert sure does draw your deck with Cantratown combo.
Yeah, a few big things is Boundless Hopes. That allows you to get down a 6 mana value creature for 1 mana, which you can easily Inspirit onto.
You can turn 1 Cantra of the 3rd eye.
Yep. So
turn 2 Cantra of Bounty. So
yeah, this deck's leans way heavier into the spirit mana cheating aspect of the contras.
Yeah.
You also run
Additionally, I think Cosmic Coalescing is a good pick because it works as both a mana outlet and a way to fetch Derelict Town,
also
which is something I
tutorable
missed.
off Enrans.
Yeah. So Lai says that this version can win turn 2. I'm assuming like it's going to be Boundless Hopes in Spirit Contra on 2, and then just go off with your Relic Town.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's
Yeah.
much.
The line is play land turn 1, turn 2, play a land, play Boundless Hopes, play Derelict Town. Do Cantrip Town, get infinite mana. I'll play like a Xenoflora expert or something.
Just Cosmic
get
Coalescing
60
them to
mana.
death.
Coalesce them to death, yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
like
very
actually,
yeah.
is there anything you can do to punish that line? Because if you kill Contra, they still get a 4/4 back.
You can
You could kill the
Sinkhole?
That doesn't
I don't
help.
know.
No, there's not a whole lot to do.
Like if you try to answer the Contra, they still get the Boundless Hope that comes back without the fleeting. So like anything you try to do to answer the Contra gets them a 4/4 flyer on turn 2.
Simply then kill the 4/4 flyer.
You can't do that because you don't have priority between Boundless Hope and Contra getting cast.
No, like kill it after.
So that's 2 removal spells. I mean, actually, they are
turn
kind
2?
of down on cards after, or they're kind of down on stuff after that.
I mean,
so.
like, it's good.
I mean, a turn 2 4/4 flying. We've historically had turn 2 4/4s do a lot in this.
Yeah, but this thing doesn't have lifelink at least. But that's flying, so I think it's probably better.
Spread across 3 bodies. Looking at you, Deadwood Tear.
And that's like the worst case scenario. That is assuming you didn't just win the game.
It's not the 9 power of File Progenitor.
Oh yeah, that too.
Those were the days.
Xenoflora Expert, I think, is a mistake. Well, not mistakes. Just I don't think it's optimal. In that you really don't want to ramp past turn 3 to begin with. I mean, like, you don't need to go past 3.
You still might want to be able. You still might want to hard cast some stuff. I think.
I'm much higher on the card Artie.
Yeah, I can tell.
Which, like, you can get your Hidden Garden entrance or Derelict Town off of immediately. And Artie can also.
There is HGE in this deck.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
And
Artie is also like
coalescing in this deck.
So they're doing like double wishing right now.
And I do think Sounds of Silence is a better target than Cosmic Coalescing off HGE.
Really? I feel like. I mean, you're already running Cosmic Coalescing main, so you might as well just keep on it.
Issue with Coalescing is that if your opponent has Deathless Siege or a way to like not lose the game when they have 0 life, they deck themselves out instead.
Fair. Okay, Lai is saying they'd prefer Artie over Xenoflora.
Huh? Why Artie over Xenoflora?
No, I would prefer.
Oh, Artie. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Artie is also land destruction.
Yeah, let me check. Oh yeah, it is.
And enchantment destruction, and it's also ramp with Prismite.
Well,
that all sure is true.
So actually, the 2 wildlife sketches is kind of interesting. Or is it interesting? No, it's just there to tutor. Oh no, you can give your stuff. You can give your creatures flash, so it lets you combo at instant speed. So yeah, wildlife sketches.
No, you can't play lands at instant speed. You need to play lands to.
Yeah.
Do the Derelict Town stuff.
Okay, fair, but like you can end step, or like it allows you to end step, do the thing, and then untap and do stuff afterwards.
That's fair. Yeah.
It's probably like way better for your like non-contra bounty combos. Like if you can end of turn contra of the 3rd eye, get that thing down, then you can untap and start going off with it.
Yeah. Anyway, I wish that Lai messaged me before the GP lists came out so we could brew this thing together and figure out what was good.
Bant contra, right? It's teamer contra.
Teamer contra, right?
5 chili peppers because this is cool.
This is completely new, yeah.
Yep.
How did both of you settle on 1 Artian anyways? Like, that's not a very obvious card to be playing.
I played 1 Artian and I used it against Lai.
Ah, I see.
I think they just included it.
Well,
I didn't share my list with them. at all. So, and then there was a situation where our Ardian was completely pivotal to making sure I combo off. So I think they saw it and get it.
Yeah, because
Understood.
Ardian is just like a ton more consistency.
Ardian, literally none of its text matters except the first ETB line.
Wait, then
Yeah,
why
it is
why are
literally
you
just
why are you not playing what's the god that was what's the god that fetches a land on ETB? Jobaya? Yeah.
There's
Why are you not just playing
Jobaya
Jobaya
cost
instead?
4.
Yeah, Argent costs 5, right?
Yeah, I want it to cost 5 for Onren and
I
Phasma Pillar.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I guess give it a rating and move on. A little blank, it's playing
This sort of deck, this deck has like seen not too much testing. I think there's some parts that are weaker and some parts that are stronger than my version.
yeah.
I don't know how to rate it.
Alright, so
I'm not a fan of the Contra of the Third Eyes. Anyway, yeah.
yeah. So a little blank is on I mean, you can explain what the deck is, right?
It's Dimensional Reshaper. Wait, Underhanded Deal is new.
How's it castable? I guess they're playing blacks. They're not playing black producing lands.
Mark
Vials.
Vials. Vials.
Is that it?
What else?
Is that it? Yeah.
Vials. The rail line.
Oh, they're playing rail lines.
Oh, 4 rail lines.
8 sources only? Is that enough?
I don't. I feel like you want Distilled Inspiration as well.
Yeah,
as an
Distilled
additional-
Inspiration. Yeah, probably. I agree. Or run black lands in your mana base.
Yeah, that works too.
Do you have room for black lands in your mana base?
No, you'd have to cut something from it.
Only one copy of Transplanted Citadel is different, I think.
Yeah.
If anything, I would cut Center of Cultures. Maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to say.
It's running 18 lands plus the rail lines is hard.
So anything interesting here? They got main deck.
Titan Snare.
Yeah, main deck Titans.
Main deck Titans.
So the good news is that Rot is 4 mana. Or good news for me, at least.
That's true.
The bad news for me is that if I don't have Rot in my hand, I get locked out of...
You're screwed.
But the good news is that I run 4 copies of Rot and 1 copy of Biohazard, which I can't cast when this thing's down. So yeah, 4 copies of Rot. Hopefully I can get them.
Well, I mean, you can cast it and then get rid of the Titan Snare for it. Oh wait, mana value 5 or greater. You can only destroy 1 or less thing.
Yeah, and I think they're also playing Mysterious Coffer main because we realized that Mysterious Coffer wrecks board-based decks.
It does. It does indeed.
Deep Drinker's Effigy, what's that?
It's a weird sideboard card. That's all I got.
It's a 4-card MSEM card.
Okay, but like...
So the idea with Deep Drinker, I included in my last GP deck list, and it was useful in some rare situations where you are ahead of your opponent on mana, so you force your opponent to make a choice of progressing their own game plan or letting you make a bunch of 3/2s.
Is this card really the best option for that slot?
If you are you have to actually be like 3 lands ahead of your opponent to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's 1 mana, so it's easier to tutor out, right? Is that mostly the reason why?
Yeah, that's the idea.
And what? Stained Reliquary? That...
It's seen play. It's just fine.
So yeah, I haven't seen Stained Reliquary and Pinnacle Purity.
Stained Reliquary was a tech where it's like...
Wait, why doesn't this card see more play? It seems pretty good.
Stained Reliquary? Yeah, it's good. It's good. I got this used against me when I was playing Phoenix, and it sucked so much because normally this effect, you literally don't care. You exile a random instant sorcery. With this card, nope. You gotta exile your birds.
Right.
Toast mentioned...
There's a lot of relics don't target.
Toast mentions that Soul Synthesizer can also grab a black source. Wait, what black source? I guess it can Soul Synthesizer grabs
rail lines. Unmarked vials.
Sure, I guess. I'll just put it under maybe. I'm not sure about this.
I'll give
I mean, it's
this
still a
like.
strong deck.
I'll
Dimensional
give it a
Reshaper.
3.
Yeah, 3 chili peppers.
It's Reshaper, but it's got some spicy includes. No, that's
What?
not. That's
What?
not.
Who deleted this chili peppers?
I accidentally typed C instead of pressing Control C.
Do we also accidentally delete all of the deck archetype? Or do we not name these guys?
I guess.
Oh no, I think we just accidentally deleted them.
Well,
What Cyber? Yeah, Mega. Just got Mega Kraken. All right, let's move on. Bravos is playing Teamer Ramp with Secret Elizabeth yet again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think from last GP, like Bravos has proven that this build works pretty well.
Has there been any changes? Is it just the
I think it's mostly
Inverness Sanctuary stuff?
I think it's mostly
There
the
might be some distribution changes.
It looks very similar to me.
Yeah, it's probably it's like mostly unchanged.
This deck does very well against like fair decks, and doesn't do very well against combo and.
Are they not running Forbidden Treasures in the sideboard? Because that's something that my blue-green ramp decks did.
Well, they don't have a lot of sideboard slots. 6 of it goes to the Verdant Sanctuary for the basic lands. And the rest is all a little bit tight.
Yeah, fair, but I guess they do want to split the alternate back bowls.
Nyx has more split printings than Petra this time.
That's because Petra only splits their lands. Nyx actually split other cards too.
Petra, you gotta step your game up. You can't get beaten by Nyx.
Well, no, if they
it happened last GP.
But yeah, I think the otherwise deck's pretty similar. So I'm going to give it 5 chili peppers because I do appreciate like how they're making my pet deck work after it got nerfed. So I lost interest in trying to make it work.
I'll give it 3. Oh, this should be a 7.25. I don't know. I'll give it a 7.5 because it's like Nyx's, so sure.
Yeah.
My deck has like these decks have this entire Team Recontra thing has had 0 testing, or like maybe like 2 games total of testing.
It looks very good though. So
hey, my deck also had 0 testing because I built it like on the night before, last night, and no one was around to league with me.
My deck has had 1 game of testing, and that's all I need.
Did you win that game?
I'll assume the answer is no.
I proceeded to edit the list so my deck actually has 0 games of testing.
All right, you could fight me in league after this to get 1 more game of testing.
You to get some practice in with the deck before the actual GP games, right?
I've been too busy trying to yelling at MSE for just like being so fucking cursed.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the internal stuff of MSE because you will hate it.
It's also written in C++, right?
No, MSE is its own programming language. Did you know that?
So so there's MSE, the program itself, and then MSE, the scripting language on top of it, right? The program itself is in C++, and you're not touching that, right?
I mean, we're messing with the scripting, like the actual scripts written in the scripting language. And fun facts: they use 0 width spaces to encode order.
Right.
It was fun. It was fun discovering that.
Is that is the MSC scripting language meant to be edited by humans?
I don't know, but it was a nightmare. But like humans are writing it. It's just like it's a
yeah. So Elizabeth, yeah, 6.5 or 7? I'll give it 7 unless someone objects. Wait, why is it bigger than usual?
I'd give it a 7.
I'd give it 7. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Hadn't trees on Soldier Sue. I think we can just copy over the stuff.
I think the deck's slightly
Yeah, it's
different.
the exact same.
What?
No,
Is it
it's not.
slightly
It's the
different?
exact same.
It's the exact
Oh.
same? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
no, it's the-
confirmation
Yeah, that's
from
what
the
I
source.
thought.
Do you have anything else to say before we move on?
Yeah, so the whole idea of the deck is you were talking about like specifically Hycathlon's Vanguard. The idea is that if you have Sue or Rial, and then you play Hycathlon, it can fetch Jack. But also if you have Jack on the field and you play Hycathlon, it can fetch either Sue or Rial, which then immediately trigger Jack.
Right.
And so I think about 50% of the time when you play Hycathlon, it triggers itself again because it can instantly attack again and then trigger through or Rial. That's the idea.
A lot of bodies, yeah.
And then
It is
when you
instant
talk about
value.
Sign of Silence and people putting in the deck, that's just me.
Really? Did you like?
I think I was the first person who was like, thought it was main deckable.
Congrats! You affected the meta. You broke the meta.
I got 3x Sign of Silence. I'm still salty about that. I have
A
PTSD
lot
now.
of things.
Right? Did we copy everything down?
I draw my turn to exhilarating prescience. I'm like super happy. Then I get Sign of Silenced. I kill it. Then I get Sign of Silenced again. And then I get silenced a third time.
Also, this deck has had a 100% going to semifinals rate. Every single time this version of the deck has been played, it has gone to semifinals, which is 3 times.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll
Yeah.
make it to the finals
It's
one
a very
day.
good deck. It just has Jifeng Hu again, so it's unconditionally evil, and therefore.
Unrelated, but how many times has Styles made final and then lost in finals? By this point, I feel like
Apparently a lot.
yeah. I think it's been at least 4 or 5 times.
Oh,
I know I beat him once.
Yeah.
I think I beat him once in the finals, or was that?
There was
I'm not
that
sure.
one time where like the server disconnected or something. The server crashed. I remember people telling me about that.
Yeah. I think he lost one due to server crash.
wait, did that
Yeah.
actually happen? Was there a judge call for that?
Well, the issue is that
The-
there's no way to repair the game state.
Ah,
So what happened? What I've been told is Styles was in a winning position, and then the server crashed mid game, and then Nix and Styles were like, "We can share the GP win," but then counts. I guess the people didn't like that, so
Obviously, we can't do 100 games here.
so they just said restart the game, and then Nix won.
huh. I wonder. So you're saying that if I get server to crash, we get to restart the round.
Oh yeah, you're a cockatrice dev now. Oh,
I feel like that's breaking a few rules for fair play, but no.
I mean, where exactly in the rules does it say that we can't crash the server?
That's what I
Oh,
thought, Nick. Ricky, if I make finals, just saying.
You're gonna take a screenshot after every single turn.
There may be a mysterious server crash.
All right, so moving on. I guess we got Scribble's deck, who they're also playing Planeswalker deck. Oh, they're playing Abzan Planeswalker. Hey, that was a deck I was thinking of. Those are the colors I was thinking of going into.
Okay, so they changed it from Sultai to Abzan.
Yeah,
That's Widow.
well, on the bright side, that means that next GP I can steal this deck and then slot in
Swarmcore.
Yeah, and it's actually in color.
But you don't get Biohazard.
I can splash
anymore.
Biohazard.
Fair.
Yeah. So let's see.
Yeah.
So what does Abzan get them?
It's similar. It's very similar. Kajiwara I isn't here.
That was also in the previous version. What does Abzan like? What does White get them? They get Undo the Pale Lich.
I'm sorry. They're playing up sorry.
You're sorry about what?
Undo.
Wait.
What?
You said you're sorry
They're
for what?
No, I said Scribble's playing up. Sorry.
The way you pronounce it really sounds like. I feel like that could just become a running joke. Every time someone plays, every time someone mentions "I'm sorry," the other person could just go, "For what?"
Ricky, you're Canadian. You should stop apologizing.
Yeah, exactly. So what's this guy do again? It minuses to kill something, and it pluses to make a guy. Oh, this.
The alt is funny.
Whenever player you control enters, you may have a game fly and become a 4/4. Ain't sure, I guess.
But you're never getting to that.
I mean,
the +1's
yeah,
good.
the +1's
It
actually
removes
nuts though.
things.
It makes 2
It's solid,
bodies.
yeah.
In fact,
Two
it's
bodies, one gains life. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's way better than Kajiwara Eye when it comes to taking over the board state.
That's all right.
Honestly, I should be playing this card instead of Spark Hunter because it's also easier on my mana. But anyways, I should stop talking about my own deck. So aside from the Planeswalker suite, they got Exhaustive.
Silius Clones, Death's Widow. Yeah.
I guess that's their removal. I mean, it also helps. It removes stuff and then helps them stabilize later on.
Undo is Grave Hate.
It's Grave Hate and it also puts bodies on the board. I think the deck just really wants to put bodies on the board with their Planeswalkers.
This deck does gain a lot of life. Scribble always knows that main deck life gain. Always loses, takes out the main deck life gain, then loses to not having main deck life gain, and then puts it back in.
They're not on that much main deck life gain, right? They're only on 2 stands as opposed to
Or Exhaustive Harvest, 2 stands, 2 Absari, 2 Spark Hunter, both make lifelink stuff. Undo also makes the lifelink thing.
Okay, yeah,
Death's
fair.
Widow has lifelink. But also you need to be at low life to cast it, so
The Exhaustive Harvest, the Exhaustive Harvest rot package is actually really powerful, I think. Because if you can ramp into an early rot, then it's kind of nuts. So I'm actually wondering if it's worth.
Rot is rot.
I'm actually wondering if it's worth running 8 ramp spells on 2, just so you can get the turn 3, 4 drop.
What would the other one be? Because you're like the ramp person.
Well, the thing is, I don't actually play those sorts of ramp cards. Like I play Primal Resurgence and stuff which gets blown up by rot. Like you need to play ramp cards that actually put lands into play. And I think like for 2 drops, for 2 mana cards that put lands into play, the only other good one I can think of is Springtime, which is probably a lot worse than Exhaustive Harvest. So like it flips cards until you get a random land, and then you have the choice of putting one of the flip cards on top.
Yeah, that was one of the Oops All Spells payoffs.
I'm not sure how good this card is though, in the Scribble's deck. And you would also have to find room for it. So I mean, you're probably cutting Stand unassailable. You don't need Stand when you have this much life gain, right? Am I like underestimating how much life gain you need here when you have like 0 early game?
I mean, is your plan just like if they attack you early, like attack you down very early, you just play turn 3 Death's Widow, and then you kind of just hope that Stonewall's creature aggro.
Actually, yeah, that does work out.
Like Exhaustive Harvest to ramp gain life. You know, your Planeswalkers really help you stabilize. Like Kajiwara Eye, 2 life a turn. Like that's a 4-point life swing every turn, and you can just like keep plussing it, make more tokens. You know, it's very good at stabilizing again.
Fair, yeah.
Sorry makes 2/2 life links. Undo makes 2/1 life links.
Also, I know it's a fight.
And yeah,
I know it's a fight for succession in the sideboard. Have you seen this card before? Like fight for succession is 4 mana destroy non-land permanent.
Huh?
I don't think
it's a card.
I don't think we want 4 mana destroy non-land permanent. Like that's overcosted for MSEM, right?
The monument is like pretty good, but also I guess if you mill it off Find Happiness, it's pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the deck definitely looks solid. What is Through the Divine? Oh, Through the Divine Gate gets back Death Widow.
Oh, this card. This is just Exunt, but funny. That gets Death Widow.
Does it? Oh, it stripped this Exunts. Yeah. Huh. Maybe I should be running this card too in my Sworn Cohort decks. Yeah, I should definitely be running this in my Sworn Cohort decks. So I'll give it 5 chili peppers because for once I'm actually interested in this deck because it's related to
I'll give it 5 too. It looks very
Like
cool.
step
It has a
onto
lot
them.
of life gain. Oh, Nix just says, sorry, I got to go.
Okay, well
Alright.
that's fine. We only have one
Yeah,
more deck left to go, and it's
Oh no.
What?
Let me not copy paste the whole Soldier Suit thing. I think I'll give this a 6.5.
Yeah.
Should I give it a 6.5 or a 7?
just give it like a 6.5. I don't think it's proven yet.
I don't think it has enough life gain.
Okay, so the thing
It's
I'm
the same-
actually thinking, I don't think they have enough combo hate in their deck. Their deck is just going to fold over to uninteractable stuff. They don't even have that much hand attack, right? Or no, they have Bright Inquiry, but that's kind of it.
They have Inquiry. It's a rot deck.
Yeah, but how do you... Rot doesn't really beat combos from hand.
It doesn't like. I think this deck hard loses to things like Casino Scam. You're right on that.
They can like board in the rest. Maybe that works.
Maybe, but it might not be enough.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Scribble. Wait, actually, Scribble played their game. I can't remember if they won or lost.
Let me check.
Oh no, they lost 2-0 to Big Red. You want to lose to Mono Red? Run a life gain deck with lots of interaction.
Cool. All right, Giant Poet stack. Let's go talk about...
It's the GP winning list from last.
Oh, zero
GP, I
originality.
believe.
I'm giving it 1 chili pepper and moving on.
Well, that's the last deck. So moving on. This is just like.
So 7 points.
I think I can give this a 7.5.
Yeah, 7 points.
It won last GP. Like,
Do we want to give it an 8 because it won last GP?
sure, why not? It's good. It turns out the deck that won last GP. The funny thing about the deck that won last GP is it played against. First played against exclusively Big Red until semifinals.
Hmm. Wait, really?
And yeah, Hersey played against me, Splash Cat, Requiem, and I think the other Big Red player, I think it was Geno Poet, or I can't remember who.
Right.
Geno Poet, I believe it was. And then in Top Cut, got matched against me, and then beat me. And in semis, played against Soldier, Cat Entry, who's here.
And then me.
Yeah. And how did you lose? Did you not have enough grave hate?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first reason I lost was I didn't draw any of my readouts, and
Fair.
sideboard slots are tight. If the deck had 4 more sideboard slots, I think the matchup would be a lot better. But also just you really have to keep a very weirdly passive hand, even though this is a pretty aggressive deck. You sort of have to outvalue, I think. And I kept a quite aggressive deck and was punished for it.
Right.
Yeah, it's Big Red. This deck has a lot of good matchups. And yeah, that's why it's very good, because sometimes, you just kill them with your features, Muck Bruiser, whatever. And then sometimes you combo kill. It's kind of like Pod Watcher in that way, where you can just play aggro, but also just combo kill sometimes.
Hersey also did not run into any decks that had End of Practice Endeavor and Hint.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually drew 3 readouts against Hersey 1 GP. Not last GP, but the GP before that. Or no, it was like GPL or something. It was a while back. I drew 3 readouts and lost that game against Hersey.
Yeah, because readout isn't Mass Grave Hate. You need End of Practice Endeavor to Mass Grave Hate the opponent. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Hersey
I
lost
think Big
one
Red
game.
is a good matchup, but
I do think specifically in like white decks, you could play. What's the Grave Seal?
Pact
card?
of the Moon. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Pact of the Moon's very good.
the one that
but,
says cards can't leave graveyards.
Oh,
Is that the one you're thinking
City
of?
of Radiance.
Yeah,
yeah, I do
that
think that's an idea instead of.
I mean, technically it works, but they have Muck
one.
Bruisers,
I thought
right?
that is Muck Bruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah, Muck
Oh, that's true. Well, the idea I assume is just like. Yeah, Muck Bruiser is just a rough card.
It prevents them
That's
from
a
comboing,
secondary beatdown.
but they could just go
Muck Bruiser
mid
is
range,
also
right?
like-
They have no more wand. They can definitely go mid range with
Yeah,
Muck
like-
Bruiser.
This deck can pivot
Yeah.
so much. It's like insane. The one thing it does lose to though is Ponza, because it runs. You might notice that it runs 0 basic lands.
So how did you not beat it with Ponza in your game?
So game 1, the first game I played against Terzi, I went turn 3. I went left on the wayside into Scarlet Haze. So yeah, it turns out turn 3 Vornclex Voice of Hunger, a second effect, is game winning. Who would have thought?
Hmm.
And then the next time I played against Terzi, I did not draw my Ponza cards and couldn't outrace in game. I won game 1. Game 2 was close, and then I just played aggro game 1. Game 2, I drew some Ponza cards and almost won. And then I can't remember if it's game 2 or game 3, but one of those games I drew some Ponza cards, managed to kill some of Herzy's lands, but then I wasn't able to like kill Herzy fast enough, and they were able to combo.
Well, anyways, so I think that's everything we want to talk about. So that should be the Decklist stream for now. Yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, and thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, I'll end the stream here.